We try to bring you high-quality educational and informational content every single day. Why do you think the price is having such an anemic time? The news story of the hour. Jump onto the chart. Is this the beginning of a massive financial unraveling? We got to add a little addendum to the show map today. So we start here on the daily. Now, we've been looking at the RSI on Bitcoin's daily chart for the last several days. Well, what's happening? It's been increasing over the last 50 years since the government has been Hey guys, what's going on? Juror number 62 here, and in today's episode of Coffee and Crypto Live, we are going to be talking about how Bitcoin is smashing through all-time high. It is currently trading at the smashing level of $72,350, and we are very excited to be here today, even if we are a little bit late. I'll be explaining why the delay here in just a moment. But today, Bitcoin is setting new all-time high. Once again, we are doing a record live stream. We're watching history be made as Bitcoin marches ever closer towards $75,000, which is the gateway to 100K. Today, we are going to be talking about this breakout on Bitcoin, why it is happening right now, where it's going, and what you should expect, and more importantly, how we can save money, build wealth, create generational wealth, get control of our life financially, and be done with being tired of our life. To start off with today, I want to talk a little bit about what we are running from. You see, when we are born into this world, we don't get to choose whether or not it is a broken world. We are left with the fact that it is a broken world. We are left with the ruinous destruction of those that have gone before us, but we are also blessed with the salvation of one that came before us as well. We are given the tools that we need, especially in the first world, to make a difference in our life. And there's really three different things that hold you down in life. Some of them you control, and some of them you don't. If you live in the United States, you are statistically most likely to have as few of these things against you as possible, but they are still real, and they are still out there. The first thing that holds you down financially, and we'll be talking about all of this as it relates to Bitcoin today, the first thing that holds you down financially is a lack of knowledge on how to be good at finances and a lack of effort. That's the first thing. And that really does happen. There are genuinely people out there that had so much potential, and through a lack of effort or through the culmination of bad decisions, they didn't really get anywhere. And their life sucks. And they're not in a position that you would want to emulate. Now, that is the one of the three that you can actually do the most about. You can make a decision today to say, I am freaking sick of being the reason that my life sucks. We get the opportunity to make that decision because we have free will. And especially in the first world, especially somewhere where you have the internet and a Bible, you can learn what you need to change that. And you have the power to be free from foolishness. But there's also two other places that Bitcoin helps to address that hold you down financially and in life. Number one is oppression. There is genuinely oppression out there. There are genuinely racists out there. There are genuinely authoritarian dictators out there. There are genuinely government structures and systems and practices that hold you down and are designed with the express intent in mind of harvesting you for your worth and your time and your value and giving it to the person that is more powerful than you. There are genuinely evil people out there. You maybe can have some understanding for the hardship that put them in that place, but they are genuinely evil, and they are genuinely hell-bent on putting you down to lift themselves up. They are genuinely racist. They are genuinely sexist. They are genuinely hateful, mean, bigoted, horrible people out there. And that can play in to where you are in life. And the third kind of person, the third kind of force that holds us down that I want to talk about is circumstances. Sometimes you're not born into an oppressive situation. Sometimes you're born into a situation where maybe you don't necessarily have privilege, but you didn't really have anything stacked against you. Maybe you live in the United States. Either you don't have somebody that's racist against you holding you down. You don't have somebody who's sexist against you. You don't have somebody who's trying to actually hold you down. And maybe there's a lot of knowledge there. Maybe your mother and father, they got a great marriage. They work really well together. You know, they know the Bible. They know wisdom. They know truth. But circumstantially, a meteor hit the house and the insurance company went bankrupt on the same day. And just circumstantially, your life sucks now. It's not the fault of your parents. Nobody's holding you down, but circumstances came into such a place that made it very difficult for you. I'm here to tell you that the world will often tell you that if you're in any of those three buckets, you're screwed. And you have no control over the outcome of your life. And so therefore, we need the government to step in and change things for you. We need someone to step in and take control of your life. I'm here to tell you that today you have the ability to take control of your life. And we're about to talk about one of the mechanisms by which you can do that. It's called Bitcoin. It's what you clicked on this stream for. And you're getting a soapbox rant from me instead. But hang on just a second. It's going to tie in. And this is going to help you much more than anything else you're going to see on YouTube today. Those three things are what stand between you and where you could be. And it is so tempting to say, I can't work harder because I've got X, Y, Z, and the third. I can't get anywhere because there's this guy at my job that's holding me down. I can't get anywhere because my parents were poor and they fought a lot. I can't get ahead because X, Y, Z, and the third. And some of that is genuinely true. If you were born in Haiti, if you were born in, let's say, apartheid South Africa, there are genuinely oppressive structures that are holding you down. There are genuinely circumstances that you genuinely may not be able to get out of. In the first world, you have the highest statistical likelihood to be able to either get out from under those systems or not to be born into them in the first place. But what you can control is your mindset and the decisions that you make. If you're under the oppression of some jerk boss, you can quit the job and go to another job. If you are under an oppressive government, you can fight like hell to get out of that country. And maybe it doesn't work out for you. It's a sad world out there. But you can fight like hell and put statistics in your favor. And if you're under an oppressive monetary system, you can make a decision to, because you have to, probably still participate in that one. But you can make a decision to sign up for another one as well. And one of those other monetary systems that you can sign up for in tandem with one that has quite a lot of flaws is you can decide to sign up for the Bitcoin monetary system. Because this channel is not about telling you, I'm sorry, you're born black in a racist neighborhood, you're just screwed. This channel is not about, I'm sorry, you're born to poor parents, you can never be rich. This channel is not about, I was born in Haiti, I've got no chance. This channel is not about hopelessness. I'm not disqualifying those. Those are real things. If you're born into a certain ethnicity and people are racist, that is real. All right, I'm not going to stand here and say that's not real because that really does happen. I'm not going to stand here and say that you were born into affluence and so you get to be rich, and you're born into poverty, so you have to stay poor. I'm not here to preach hopelessness. You know, there's so many people in this world that want to steal your hope and just say, it's somebody else's fault. You're just screwed. I don't know how to help you. You're just screwed. That is not what we're here for. I am going to show you, I'm going to walk with you for decades to come if the Lord will give me that amount of life, that amount of breath in my lungs. I'm going to walk with you, and I'm going to show you how to take control of your life, that even if you are in one of those three circumstances, because you're probably in all three of them to some degree, even if you are in one, two, or all three of those circumstances, you have the ability to make some kind of change today. Because if it remains everybody else's fault, then you are not in control. If you make what is controllable something that you have decided you are going to take control over, then you're on the path to sovereignty and your life will be better. So let's take control of our finances by getting wise. Wisdom, the fruit of it, is peace, long life, riches, honor, glory. Peace. Let's say that again. The purpose of building wealth is not to get rich. The purpose of building wealth is to have peace and resources to be generous. That is where true joy comes from. Can I get an amen from the Christians in the chat? Right? We are going to talk about how to be wise, because when you accrue knowledge and you learn about these things, then you have the ability to understand them. Tribulation worketh patience. When you have wisdom, when you have knowledge, it leads to understanding. And when you have understanding, it leads to wisdom. And the fruit of wisdom is all good things. So let's accrue some knowledge so that we may have some understanding, so that we may walk in wisdom, which is the principal thing when it comes to finances. And we're going to do that with modern technology. One of those pieces of technology is Bitcoin. So let's read some chat after I got off my soapbox. And we're going to get started. Mike Lowry's in chat this morning, says, congratulations, everyone. Marley120 Thirst is in chat. Sean O'Brien's here. Jameel Holmes is in chat. Christina Orozco is in chat. Michael C. Bill's Mafia is in chat. Wreck the Bears. Benjamin Bergdorf is in chat. Crypto Ohio. Tish Tellers. Alex Nybo. Crypto Santa. Micah Hall in chat. Looking forward to meeting with you, my friend. Jesus Najira said, what's up, Jeb? What about Litecoin? Not the biggest fan of it. I don't think it's differentiated enough from Bitcoin to be super valuable anymore. We've got a lot of amens. Whoa, we got a lot of amens. All right. Let's talk practical, though. Not that what I just talked about is not practical, but that there's actual technological components to how we become wealthy. and successful. We are not of this world if you are a born-again believer, and if you are not, you are totally welcome here, and I love you, and that's totally okay. I'm not going to judge you for that. What I am going to say is, especially if you're a born-again believer, we are not of this world. We are in this world, and we must operate in this world, but we have wisdom that comes from beyond this world that helps us to navigate this world which we live in. So let's talk about just that. Michael Hall donating $2, quoting Isaiah 61, 1 through 2. Let's read that. I don't have that one memorized. I do memorize scripture almost every day, but I do not have that one memorized. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. A meek person is not a weak person. A meek person is an extremely strong person. They're just willing to follow the lead of somebody that knows better and is stronger than them. He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God, and to comfort all those that mourn. Let us accrue wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that we may be of comfort to those who mourn. Let's get started. Bitcoin today is trading at $72,090. It has gone through a massive rally. And as you can see here, Watcher.guru reporting that MicroStrategy has just bought an additional 12,000 Bitcoin. If that is not a glowing review of the current state of the market, I don't know what is. I've met Michael Saylor. I've sat down with him. The man is a freaking genius, and we both happen to have a history in engineering and physics. So I was able to have a great conversation with him. It's a timeless conversation that will be interesting 10 years from now as it is today. You can go back on the channel and watch that. It's got just shy of 100,000 views. I think it's a grossly underviewed video. Mainly because of his... I basically just sat there and listened the whole time. We had more of a conversation towards the end. Go watch that video if you haven't already. The guy knows his stuff. He knows exactly what he's doing. I'm not going to say he's going to make every decision right. I'm not saying he's perfect. But I will say that he knows what the flip he's doing. And in MicroStrategy, in other words, Michael Saylor, because he's pretty much the one running the ship, guys. No pun intended with the ship in the background. If he's buying 12,000 Bitcoin, that is a glowing review of this market. He's basically had the same strategy I've taught you guys for a long time. Dollar cost average, puppy. Hold on tight. Be willing to be patient. Don't buy into the get-rich-quick crap that you're hearing a lot of places. Those who get rich quickly will oftentimes lose it quickly. Buy it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Hold it some more, and after you've been done holding it some more, then hold it a little while longer, and then take your profits. Talking about Bitcoin here. Talking about long-term investment. It's okay to play the cycle. Just be careful. All right, Ethereum's trading at $4,000, jumping ahead a little bit. I'm sorry, I was in 2030 this morning, and so I just misread a headline. I wasn't supposed to say that. You know, it's supposed to be confidential. But anyway, Bitcoin at 72,000. Ethereum at 4,000. Solana at $148. Cardano at 73 cents. Avalanche at 48 bucks. The altcoins are not moving. That scares a lot of people. A lot of people watching this are probably scared. Why? Why is Bitcoin the only one that's moving? Where are my alts? Patience. My young Padawan. It's coming. There's going to be a large movement on the altcoins, most likely. We don't know anything for certain. Does he respond to super chats? I do. I try and respond to as much chat as I can, but there's several hundred people, so I don't always get to every one of them, but I definitely respond to super chats. Bitcoin has all the attention right now because it is the largest coin. It has a $1.4 trillion market cap. That's a new all-time high. By the way, here's a fact for you. Bitcoin just passed silver's all-time high. The Bible says, a man who, he that getteth wisdom findeth a good thing. And she is more precious than rubies, and all the things thou canst desire, not to be compared unto her. The merchandise of it, wisdom, is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. Talking about wisdom. That's in the third chapter of Proverbs. I suppose that Bitcoin, if the Bible and Proverbs were written today, would have been in that verse. She is more valuable than even Bitcoin, wisdom, because it's by wisdom that you're able to acquire Bitcoin. Not that Bitcoin isn't valuable. It's just that the method of getting the Bitcoin is more valuable. Anyway, Bitcoin is rallying quite substantially right now. The altcoins are going to have their time. Be patient, my friend. Be patient. It's coming. There's no reason to believe there's not an altcoin cycle. If there is, I will tell you. I do not mind being called a perma-bear. I don't care. I have had it up to here playing the branding game. I am going to be brutally honest with you, and somehow I'm going to manage to be compassionate at the same time. But I'm going to tell you what you need to hear. Even if it offends you for the next 2 days, and then you realize I was right 2 months later, in the next 20 years, you're thankful you listened to me. Even if you thought I was an idiot. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, even if you don't want to hear it. And if you don't want to hear it, listen, guys, I'm not keeping you here. I love it when you're here. I'm not telling you to leave. Just saying I'm going to be honest with you. The altcoins are going to get their time. Many of them are doing very well today, by the way. Many of them are up several percentage points. So don't be scared. They've gone on a huge rally. Zoom out, get a little perspective, and understand that they got a lot more room to go. Let's talk about Bitcoin. It's moving right now. Let's look at some historical analysis. First and foremost, let's get some perspective. Bitcoin has spent the last 15 years becoming one of the largest assets, has become one of the largest assets in human civilization. It is a gargantuan truth, Bitcoin. $1.4 billion. Sorry, $1.4 trillion. MicroStrategy's bought $800 million of Bitcoin. Yep, we talked about that. That's the 12,000 Bitcoin they just purchased. Huge, 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 huge deal. If they're still buying Bitcoin, that means you probably should too. You know why? Because when rich people do things, generally they're doing it for a reason. When rich people do things, generally it's because they know something that maybe we don't. And so I'm not saying we follow them blindly, but if they're doing it, there's probably a greater than not chance that it's going to work. That's why, by the way, that this show is brought to you by Blowfin. Because if you didn't know, Blowfin has something called copy trading on it, where you can go and you can copy, literally just copy. Like, just there's nothing new under the sun. Don't feel bad about it. They signed up for it. You can go and copy traders that got a lot more experience, that are doing a good job. You can check their track record. So if you're interested in signing up and following people that know what they're doing and making some money because they're making money and just doing what they did, then sign up for Blowfin using the link down below. You're going to be making a bunch of money doing that because you're actually going to get money for signing up and for trading. In fact, I'll just go ahead and flash the graphic on screen really quickly here. Go ahead and take a screenshot of that. If you deposit up to $20,000, you get up to a $1,000 bonus. If you trade up to $25 million in aggregate volume, you'll get up to $2,500 for free. Free money. That's what we like to hear. It's really not free money. It's advertising dollars because Blowfin is trying to get signups. This is business. Come on. There's nothing free. But to you, it's free. Right? So go get some free money by doing copy trading. But listen, let's talk about Bitcoin. It's had a huge run, and we always knew this was coming. We always knew that Bitcoin was going to rally towards $100,000. I remember being in the space. When I got into cryptocurrency, guys, Bitcoin was trading at $2,900, not $29,000. I didn't miss a zero there. I didn't stutter. We started at 2,900 smackaroons. Believe it or not. I got into the space right here. Here's some perspective for you. There's almost as much time after that circle as there is before that circle. This is when I got in, right there. I was 16 years old and a knucklehead thinking, oh man, other people are doing it, so surely I can too. I just got to do what they did, and then I'll get what they have. And now a lot of the people that I got into the space because I was inspired by, we've actually surpassed them. Several of the people that I got into the space for have been, they got caught up in Ponzi schemes, and they went for the quick money, and they sacrificed their integrity, and now they're down a creek. We didn't do that. We've never taken a coin sponsorship. I've never promoted a Ponzi scheme. Because I love you guys more than quick money. Let's say it again. Riches gained by vanity will not last. That is Proverbs. That is the Bible. If you're a Christian, you believe that. By very nature of calling yourself a Christian, you believe that the Bible is true. And one of the things that it says, and if you're not a Christian, here's some good wisdom for you. Riches gained by vanity, in other words, by evil, or in other words, hastily and irresponsibly, they won't last. We've been in the space for 7 years because we've done it the right way, generally. Now, we've made a lot of mistakes along the way, but I haven't screwed you guys over, and I'm never going to because I love you too much. And I don't really care all that much about money. I care about helping you guys to have a better life. All right, so last bull market, Bitcoin rallied to the 1.618 Fibonacci extension level, which was around 61,000. Now, of course, it went a little bit further than that. In the bull market before that, we rallied almost to the 2.618 Fibonacci level. I think that we're looking at the 1.5 to 1.618 Fibonacci level again. Well, guess what? The 1.5 Fibonacci extension level sits at $144,000. The 1.618 sits at $171,000. We've been calling for $150,000 to $200,000 Bitcoin, which is a little bit aggressive, but I'm thinking it's probably going to happen by the end of this bull market, at least to $100,000. That is still a doubling from here. There's still money to be made here, guys. Just keep in mind, you want to double your money in the stock market? Wait 10 years. You want to double your money in Bitcoin? Wait 10 weeks, right? We don't know exactly how long it's going to take, but Bitcoin is likely going to go to 6 figures. Why? Because it's in the culture, guys. Everybody who's anybody saying, oh my goodness, Bitcoin's going to 100K. And you know what they're doing? They're buying until it hits 100K. It's simple 7th grade economics. It's most likely going to occur at this point. We're so close. We're in spitting distance of it, guys. Have you ever driven up to Disney and you're right there and then just turn around and not go? No, you don't do that. You get there, forget Disney, just go anywhere. Say, oh, well, I just want to go ride this roller coaster. You're just going to walk up to the line. You're going to get to the end of the line, and you say, all right, it's my turn. All right, bye. No, that's not how you think. You think, oh my gosh, we're here. Yay. That's how people are thinking right now. They're thinking Bitcoin is close to 100K. I want it to go to $100,000. I want to own an asset that's $100,000 a unit. And so what you're going to do is you're going to buy it. And a lot of people are going to buy it. We are in the catchment zone of all-time high. And guess what? We are breaking in. We are breaking out of it right now. Like a fat guy out of a tin-walled prison, breaking straight through it. Who's ever heard that song from Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Where the walls are made of tin. That's what we're doing right now. The walls are made of tin, and Bitcoin's just slamming through the wall like it's the Kool-Aid guy. But Bitcoin's got to actually get through it. All right, Bitcoin has set higher lows on higher lows on higher lows. It's set higher highs on higher highs on higher highs. But when you have such a strong level of resistance, such as all-time high, then what you have to do is you have to really get through it. Who watched the recent Dune movie? I watched it. It was creepy. Who watched the second Dune movie? Give me a 1 in chat. Did you go to theaters and watch that? I went with my wife. She was there with the blanket over her head the whole time because, man, that movie was creepy. It was weird. Right? But in the Dune movie, they've got this reactive armor, and if you shoot at them, then it, like, catches the... It was a cool movie, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I thought it was a really cool universe. I was just like, man, the Harkonnen, I'm like, man, these people are demonic. This is weird. But anyway, it was a cool movie. Like the special effects. I like big worms. Yeah, that's cool. But anyway, no spoilers, because I know a lot of you probably still want to see it. But they've got this armor, and if you shoot at them, then it, like, catches in it, and, like, takes a while to get through, and a lot of times it stops. That's like what resistance is in a market. You really got to fight through it to get inside of it. And that's what the market is like. You've really got to fight. You got to sit there for a while, punching through atmosphere, right? It's a little bit of resistance. There's some friction there. But guess what? Bitcoin's prior all-time high was this blue line, and this blue line is sitting at not that line, this line. See if I can get it here. 68,229. Is that right? I don't think that's correct. No, I'm sorry. It's not. It's this line right here. $69,000, give or take. Let's just call it 69. Was the previous all-time high. We rallied all the way up, touched it, broke through it a couple of times, and then we came back and back-tested it as support. We've set higher highs and higher lows. This is a textbook breakout of strong resistance. Okay? It's textbook breakout. This is how it looks. If you read a textbook, you would see this. This is the textbook way you break strong resistance. You punch through it a little bit at a time. It's like strong city walls, besieging armies trying to get through it. You punch through it a little bit at a time, and then you finally get through it eventually. And then you start making it like a beachhead. This is like D-Day, guys. This is a big level of resistance that we got here. Marines landed on the beaches, established a beachhead right there 2 inches from the water. Now we're pushing inland, right? We're moving towards Paris, guys, but it's going to take a couple weeks. Bitcoin has punched through the resistance. After we get through, anybody who studied the Second World War after what D-Day happened, man, it started moving quick. Because all of the defenses were concentrated at D-Day, at Normandy, at the Normandy beaches. After you broke through it, I'm not saying it moved crazy fast, but it moved a lot faster than D-Day did, where you're fighting over tenths of an inch. That's what Bitcoin's going to be doing very soon. It's going to be moving a lot quicker very soon. And it's going to follow an uptrend, something like this, very soon. The next few weeks on Bitcoin are going to be absolutely nuts if history has taught us anything. But watch out. Every time I say that for the last month, I've been telling you, beware and be careful with leverage. Because there is a 20 or 30% correction looming around the corner, and it will come at some point, and it will come like a thief in the night, and it will startle you, and you will not have seen it coming, and we will probably drop back below $69,000. And for those of you that have a cash pile on the side, like I've been advising you to do for the last several months, we'll be seeing a great buying opportunity and one last time to buy Bitcoin below all-time high. And we might not go down below all-time high. Maybe this is the end of it. But those of you who got caught out with your pants down in a 10x, 15, 20, 30, 50, 100, 150, 20 million X leverage trade, you're going to be absolutely wrecked. So please, if you're in a trade at all, but especially if you're in a leverage trade, because a leverage trade, you can't just roll over and say, screw that one up, I'm going to throw it into my investment portfolio. If you're in a leverage trade, please be very careful and make sure that you have a stop loss. If you are trading and you are not doing it on leverage, first of all, good for you. You're doing it the right way. But second of all, if you're in a spot trade and it goes bad, and you buy at 80 grand and then it drops straight down to 20, straight down $20,000 down to 60, you don't have to feel too bad. You can just kind of say, I'm not going to cut my losses. I'm just going to do a transfer and put it over into my cold storage because 80 grand will be a good entry when it's at 160, right? It's one of the reasons I recommend spot trading over leverage trading. I don't mind you leverage trading, but please be very careful with it. Make sure you're using stop losses. Make sure you're careful, guys. What's the long and short here? Bitcoin's going towards $100,000, and it might be there sooner than we think, but there's a big correction around the corner, and when that happens, you're going to get a great, great, great investment opportunity. So when do alts start to rally? When do alts take off? When Bitcoin calms down. Let's take a look at the historical analysis because I like to give you guys facts and logic and rational thought. Not just FOMO, not just emotion, not just, oh my gosh, I can get people to click on the video if I tell them this. I like to give you facts because that's what I like to be given. I like to create the show that I would want to watch, that would benefit me. All right? Here's some of the facts. When Bitcoin takes off, it goes absolutely bananas. The last time we went into a bull market, guys, we broke all-time high. We doubled. We rallied $22,000 off a $20,000 starting point in 22 days. We rallied $1,000 a day, about 5% a day for 3 weeks straight. After that happened, here's that big 20 to 30% correction I was talking about. We dropped 30% in 15 days. A lot of people got knocked out. So please, if you're in a leverage trade position, watch yourself. Be very, very, very careful. However much risk you're taking on the leverage trade, take less. Just as a rule of thumb. Not against it necessarily. But just however much risk you think you ought to take less. That's my advice. All right. But what do the altcoins do? Let's look at total and then compare it to total 2. We got total market cap right here, and then we got total 2 market cap. See if we can't compare these two. What you're going to see here, let's just put everything on regular. What you're going to see here is that the altcoins lagged behind quite a bit. When Bitcoin went into a major bull market, they did take off. But as you can see on the log chart here, they took off well after Bitcoin really did. Right? Because Bitcoin was breaking all-time high right about here. Right? Right around here. The altcoins really took off several months later. The altcoins started to take off in January of 2021. Basically from day 1, hour 0 of 2021 was alt season. But January of 2021, if we look here, was at the point where Bitcoin was already trading at about 30 grand. Bitcoin was already 50% above all-time high. In our case, Bitcoin would be at $105,000 before altcoin season started taking off. You can see it very clearly here on the altcoin market capitalization charts. There's probably a better way to look at it, actually. You can see it right here when you compare Bitcoin and alt market cap charts. The altcoins had their run, especially after Bitcoin slowed down a little bit. Like I said, facts, not hype, not FOMO, facts. Emotions are not a bad thing, but we don't make logical decisions off of emotions. Again, emotions are not bad. God made them. They're a good thing. They're there for a reason. They're, however, not the basis for rational thought. Facts and logic are. Your prefrontal cortex is where you do your rational thought, not your heart. Your heart is very important. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. That's what this cross around my neck says. It's Proverbs 4:23. But it's not the basis for rational thought. In fact, if you follow your heart is deceitful above all else. You have to lead your heart, man, not the other way around. Let's not have our heart telling us, oh, altcoin season's here now. No, well, it's coming. It's not here yet. Statistically, factually, logically speaking, it's not here yet. Okay, we look at total market capitalization. What are you going to see? The altcoins are going crazy. I'll give you that. But it's nothing compared to what's coming. It's nothing. All right, they look like they're running in tandem. Bitcoin is actually taking off a lot faster than a lot of your favorite coins. This is what happened last time. It's what will probably happen again. Bitcoin's going to take off, and then the alts will follow, and they'll go parabolic towards the end, and then their rally will make Bitcoin's rally look like chump change. But you notice the alts really started taking off right here around the end of January, and Bitcoin was on its final leg up to all-time high. Let me put this as simply as I can. Most of the altcoin appreciation from $400 billion to $1.25 trillion, that's a 3x, happened after Bitcoin had already gone through the majority of its appreciation. In other words, Bitcoin was the dominant force here. The altcoins were the dominant force here. Hopefully that shows itself on the chart. Okay? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. There's an altcoin season coming, but according to the data, according to the history, which is the best thing that we can go by, Bitcoin is likely to see its alt season really kick into full speed, into high gear a few months from now, which means you've still got time. That's a good thing. That means that you've still got time to accrue. You know, I think, well, what about that? They're up so much. Yes, they are. The alts are doing crazy well. Our alts are absolutely killing it. I'm really excited about our portfolio. It's been just absolutely dominating. We got into some render. Really excited about that. It's doing great. Got into some fetch.ai. It hadn't done a whole lot since I got into it because obviously we bought it kind of up there towards the top, but I only bought a little bit of it. We're just kind of putting a tiny little bit in there. I think it's going to do really well. A lot of these coins we've been talking about are doing great. Polkadot, up 6% in the last 24 hours. Avalanche, got some of that, up 14% in the last 24 hours. Solana, up 3%. Guys, altcoin season hasn't even started, and the alts are actually still outpacing Bitcoin. And I hope you realize that. There's this narrative going around, oh, when's altcoin season? It's right now, guys. It's going to kick into higher gear later, but it's honestly, truthfully, right now. So, Mike Lowry asks a great question, when to stop DCAing? The first thing I want to mention, this is where the heart actually does come in, right? Is the Bible says, the Lord by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding hath he established the heavens, by his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let not them depart from thine eyes, keep them in the midst of thine heart. And it goes on to say, speaking on wisdom, that when thou lie down, thou shalt not be afraid, yet thou shalt lie down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Again, speaking on wisdom that was discussed just a few verses earlier. Part of what makes you wise is not putting yourself in a position to be anxious. It's putting yourself in a position to sleep good at night. Sleep's kind of important. You spend a third of your life doing it. You know, that's why people spend $3,000 on a bed that has fancy motors in it and it can change its own temperature, because you spend a third of your freaking life in it. I kind of get it. If you got a bunch of money, I don't blame you for spending $3,000 on a bed. You spend a bunch of your life there, right? When thou lie down, thou shalt not be afraid, yet thou shalt lie down, the sleep shall be sweet. Why? If what? If you are wise. The ultimate destination of building wealth is not getting fancy things. I am here to tell you that man can give you happiness, but he cannot give you joy. Only the Lord can do that, and only by walking in his ways can you do that. What money can help you to acquire, by wisely stewarding it, not by having $100 million and being a fool with it. Having $100 million doesn't make a freaking difference. If you're being an idiot with it and you're spending $100 million a year, you're not going to have any peace at all. I don't care how many zeros are in your bank account. The ultimate purpose of building wealth is to have peace. Peace is a fruit of the Spirit. So if you're managing money wisely, then that must be the Spirit's leading. Am I wrong? Right? So here's the point. The purpose of building wealth is to have what? Peace and resources to be generous with. I tell you what, guys, I've spent $5,000 on play and I've spent $5,000 on generosity, and I can't tell you the last time that I spent $5,000 on something just because I thought it'd be fun. I couldn't tell you. I can do it. We have the financial capability, but that's not what brings me joy. That's not what's going to bring anybody true joy. It might bring you some temporary happiness. I have spent $5,000 on fun stuff before, and you make memories, and I'm not discounting that, but what brings you the truest form of joy is being generous to people. The purpose of building wealth is to have peace, to not have your vision clouded by this fixation on your money, and so that you have resources to be generous. So, to you that asks, Mike Lowry and everybody else that asks, when do I stop dollar cost averaging? The first question I have for you is, when do you stop having peace about putting more money in? When do you start to have a yearning in your spirit that says, man, I got too much money invested in this. Man, I'm starting to think the purchases I'm putting right now are going to be upside down. I'm starting to think I'm going to start losing money on this. You follow your intuition and your heart in that case where it's giving you caution. Your heart is not always going to tell you what the best investment is, but I am here to tell you that your heart will tell you if you put too much in. Your heart will scream at you and say, ugh. You'll have that shuddering. That's what it is to be led. I feel peace about that. I don't feel good about that at all. Right? My wife tells me she doesn't feel good about something. Man, I'm not doing it until she feels good about it, or I'm not doing it at all if she never does. Right? And so it's the same thing within here. If you feel like, man, maybe the numbers make sense, but it doesn't make sense in your heart, be careful against going against that intuition, that gut instinct in your life. It can save your tail. I was at a convenience store at 3 a.m. one time when I was a young buck, and I was with a few of my friends, and something just hit me like a train, like every hair on my body stood up, kind of thing. Like, man, there's something wrong here. There's somebody about here about to shoot this place up. I don't know what it was. Nothing happened, but I went home. I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. I told my 2 friends over there, well, we got to go. I don't know why. I feel like, I don't even think I was a Christian yet. I was like, something's wrong. We got to go. I couldn't tell you why, but we just got to get out of here. So So we left. Nothing happened. Talked to my dad about it the next day. He said, yeah, Jed, you did the right thing. You got to listen to that. Because sometimes what you're describing will save your freaking tail. No benefit in hanging around. We were just there getting a candy bar or something. We're like, here's your money. All right, we're gone. Bye. Sorry to you that you have to stay here. You work here, right? It's like, that'll save your tail sometimes. So the first part of that is it making it hard to sleep at night? And is it giving you anxiety? If it is, quit. Forget the money for a second. The purpose of building the wealth is to help your spirit. So if the way that you're building wealth is hurting your spirit, then quit. The wealth is not worth it, because then you're sacrificing the ends for the means. And you're following a dumb mean to get to an end that will be compromised because the way you got there was not in alignment with what you were searching for in the first place. Wealth gained by vanity will not last. Remember that? So, practically though, that is practical, but technically speaking, when should we stop dollar cost averaging? In my opinion, when the altcoin in question hits its market cap all-time high, that's when you start, or even gets just a little bit close to that, that's when you start really asking yourself the question from the heart posture, but also from the fundamental standpoint. If a coin is 10 times stronger, and that's subjective, but let's say it's 10 times stronger than it was before, much larger community, the facts are there, bigger TVL, bigger community. They did a rebrand, man. They're pushing out the founders, this, you know, awesome guy that everybody follows and thinks they're listening to him. He's a thought leader in the space. Everything's growing, everything's great, and it's only 75% of all-time high. Probably not time to stop dollar cost averaging. If you're like, man, I really don't feel like the outlook for this project is any better than it was last time and it's close to all-time high, you probably ought to quit. You got to do it coin by coin, and that's why I don't recommend having 250 coins. I met a very, very cool individual on my most recent coaching call. This person has a crazy story. Crazy story. I mean, she told me 1,000 people have told me I ought to write a book, and I said, I second that, man. You should. I would read that book. I meet some really cool people in coaching, and you know who you are. I'm not going to say the name because I keep things confidential, but you know who you are if you're listening. And, you know, she had like 300 coins. And I said, do you know what any of those do? She's like, well, I know what some of them do. Like, but do you know what all of them do? She's like, honestly, no. I'm like, then sell them today. If you don't know what they do, if you don't know the state of your flocks, then get rid of the flock. Like, if you cannot manage it and keep it under control, then that's not financial sovereignty. You're not in control of it. So the reason for that is that let's invest in 10, 20, 30, 40, maybe 50 coins. Just about nobody individually can manage over 50 coins, even if you do this full time. Maybe pick 10 or 20 coins if you're the average individual. And then watch them individually and keep track of the project, and then use your intuition, use your brain power to figure out, hey, is this thing overvalued at this point? Am I really getting a good entry on this? You know, here's a rule. You probably want to go up at least another 25% from where you're buying it in if you're going to buy it in for it to even be worth your freaking time and to take the risk. If you don't think that's the case, then don't buy it. I'm not going to be buying Solana at $450. I'm not going to be buying Cardano at $5 or $6. I'm buying Cardano at 70 cents, at 25 cents. I'm buying Solana at $89. I'm buying Solana at $100. I'm not buying it up there. So a lot of people are not going to dollar cost average now, and they're going to plant late in the season because they waited too long, because they hummed and hawed. They waited too long, and then they're going to plant, and before the seed come, and before they're able to actually harvest, and the winter came and knocked it out. And they got snow on the crops, and they're screwed. They just lost a bunch of money. I don't want that to be you. So if you're going to make an entry, get in while it is a good opportunity. Don't wait until the television has gone off of 50% off, and now it's only 10% off, because then you're not going to be able to resell it for any more. Tell you what, if you buy a brand new television for 50% off, you can probably turn around and sell that sucker for 30% off retail. You just made 20%. Good for you. That's what I'm talking about with cryptocurrencies. Get a good deal. To the best of your ability, get a great deal. But my friends, make sure that you're doing the absolute best that you can of getting a good entry. All right, guys, let's go ahead and continue right along here and read a little bit of chat. I know Freedom, it looked like a deep fake. Yeah, there's a lot of deep fakes out there. Please be very careful, guys. And guys, here's the other thing. I'm normally an advocate for doing things a little bit sooner than you think you ought to. Maybe stop dollar cost averaging a little bit earlier than you think. Don't push your luck. And maybe start taking profits a little bit sooner than you think you will. I'm not saying to play it so safe that you never take any risk, man. We're taking risk on this. Take calculated risk and minimize the risk where you can, even if it comes at the expense of 10 or 20% profit, when you could make 200%. You know why? Because you're staying in the game longer. Oh, I'm going to go for that. I'm going to go for that play. I'm a quarterback. I'm going to go for that play. We're going to get another touchdown, but I'm going to risk destroying my ACL and not having a career. I am going to preserve myself and keep myself from destroying my ACL, ripping my hamstring in half just for the sake of maybe getting another touchdown. and I'm going to play the game for another 10 years. That's what you want to do. It's okay to take risk, but don't take so much risk that you're out of whack. If you're taking your time and you're being wise about it, your intuition will tell you that you're moving too quick. There was one time where we were on our honeymoon in Tennessee, and I was showing off a little bit to my wife. And I have a Toyota Camry SE, so it's got the paddle shifters, right? I'm living it up, and we're flying down the mountain. I actually used to live on that mountain when I was 5, and we would get behind this lady every day on the way to kindergarten, and she's probably like 80 or 90 at the time, and it's this winding road. I mean, it's white knuckle driving the whole way. I find it really fun because I love to drive and I love fast cars and all that. But this lady would go down like 5 miles an hour. Man, I was flying down that mountain at 40 or 50 miles an hour. And there was one point where I was like, oh, crap. And I didn't tell my wife until like the next day. We'd been married for like 5 days. I didn't want her to think I was crazy, right? I didn't want her to regret it. But I told her the next day. I was like, man, there was a part there where I was scared. I was like, crap, I'm going way too fast. This was 2 years ago. This is probably 2 years ago today, actually. 2 years ago today, we were on a honeymoon. But flying down the mountain, I'm like, man, I slammed the brakes. I put it in as low gear as possible, and we slowed down, but man, I almost went in the little creek over there on the side of the road. In here, I knew I was going too fast. And so what did I do? I slowed down. I slowed down for the safety of everybody in that vehicle. Because we almost bought it, and not in the right way. Right? Something in here said, man, you're going too fast. You better slow down. You were outside it. Like, I know how to control it going 10 miles an hour faster than I should be, but I was going too fast. There was a curve coming up. So I pumped the brakes, put it in like second gear. I was in fourth, pumped it in like first gear. Engine goes, right? You got the engine braking going on. That's your heart's going to tell you that. It's going to say, man, you need to slow down. You need to stop investing too much. You need to get out of this and take a break. You need to pump the brakes and put that sucker in first gear. And you need to not do that again, because that was stupid. That was dumb. I'm not excusing it. It was stupid. Like, that was dumb Jeb came out. Dumb Jeb comes out sometimes, man. I got to put him back in his little cage. Okay? So, if you are investing and if you are thinking about taking out and you feel something in here says, man, you're going too fast, or man, you're going too slow, you better listen to it. Because a lot of times, it's going to be right. Especially if it's leaning in the direction of playing it safe. I'm not saying you got to play it safe in life. You play it too safe, you're going to sit in a white, padded room in a bubble all day, and you're going to be unfruitful. I'm not saying to play it so safe that you never get anywhere. But I am saying sometimes, when you go too crazy, you run off the road. Let's read some chat, and then we're going to wrap it out. How to take profits today at Jeb. That gut feeling was telling me, good for you. Maybe take 10% out. Maybe take the house money out. Whatever. Guys, market's exploded. You've just made a bunch of money. Take some of it out and do the 3 things that you can do with money. Enjoy some of it, reinvest some of it, pay taxes on some of it, and be generous with some of it. Good for you. Good job taking out profits. You know what you just did? You just made money. You don't make money when you put the money in. You spend money to put money in. You're spending money to put seeds in the ground. Seeds cost money, and they don't make you anything. It's when you harvest it when you actually made money. So good for you. You just made money. Don't be so freaking scared of taking money out of the market. It's okay. I'm up to 26K from 6K. Alts are doing fantastic. Love it, Bear Freedom. See, you're the person that's in the position where you can say, man, I'm taking the house money out. I'm going to let the 20 run. I'm going to turn it into 40 because this market's going bananas. And I've got no worry in the world because it ain't going to go to zero. I'm not going to lose all of it. I'm always going to have at least some profit. Always have a DCA out plan. What Salt said. Have a written plan for anything in your life that you want to succeed. If you don't have a written plan for it, don't expect it to succeed, period. Period. You are not going to sell. You are not going to succeed, or you're at least not going to succeed repeatedly over the course of many years if you don't have a written plan. Get a pen. You know what I asked for Christmas? My wife asked me, what do I want for Christmas? The first thing I told her, I said, I want a fancy pen because I want to be encouraged to write fancy plans. I didn't exactly say it that poetically. I wish I had said it like that. That would have been cool. But I said, I want a fancy, nice pen. I can walk in a room and I can say, man, I got a pen right here. Because you know how I got my first job? It was with a pen. I was 17 years old. There were 7 or 8 of us in the first round of interviews. Everybody, the guy walks in. I'll never forget his name. His name was Bo. Bo walks in. Cool guy. Tall, lanky, kind of insecure because his boss was a jerk. I came to find out later. But he walks in, hands us all a questionnaire, says, anybody need a pen? I was the only person in that room that said no. You know why? Because I pulled out a pen that I brought with me. Because my father taught me to always have a pen with you. Just so you know, there were 7 people in that room. 2 people got a job. I was one of them. Write a plan. Write a plan if you want to succeed. You want to succeed? Write a plan. That simple. All right. All right. Loving the channel more than ever, Robbie Austin said. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I do want to let you all know also that today's stream is brought to you in part by Blowfin. So make sure you go and sign up for Blowfin. You only got a few more days for this promotion. As you can see there, it only lasts through March the 14th. You don't get free money. Even if you don't like Blowfin for some reason. Even if you decide not to use it. Deposit 20 grand, get $1,000, pull out 21 grand, you just made 5%. Good job. That takes you a whole freaking day to do in Bitcoin. No, I'm just kidding. But you're still going to make $1,000 free. You got 20 grand laying around, just go get yourself some free money. What does it matter? Like, go make free money. Like, what better is free than what better is than free money? One of the only places you're ever going to find free money in the world is when marketers are giving it to you to get you to sign up for their stuff. So go sign up for Blowfin. Even if you decide not to use it, get yourself some free money. Take them for all they're worth. Go get $1,000, but please also do some trading. And the reason that you should is because Blowfin is an excellent place to do some trading. Why? Because they got everything you need all in one place. They got over 300 spot markets. They got futures trading. They've even got trading bots if you want to experiment with that. They've got up to 150x leverage. Please don't use 150x leverage unless you're like the one person in the world that has done this since 20,000 BC. Please just be careful with leverage trading. But if you do leverage trading, it's a great leverage trading platform. It's trustworthy. They got a lot of volume. They are secured by Fireblocks. They're custodied by Fireblocks, which is a big deal. It's a very big deal because you don't want an exchange getting hacked. Heard about FTX? They weren't custodied with Fireblocks. Blowfin is. So make sure to sign up for Blowfin. You also got your earn programs over here. You can do some staking, which is great. You got the lockup schedule and the returns right there. You got copy trading, which is really cool if you're trying to make some money in cryptocurrency with trading, but you don't have the time to put your 1,000 to 10,000 hours in to master trading. Copy trading is a great place to go. You got people over here. You can see their track record. You can copy them, follow them, make some money right alongside them. Pretty easy money. It's a pretty good way to make some money. So make sure to check out Blowfin. It's a place where whales are made, and they say it that way for a reason because it's got everything that you need to become a whale. So make sure you go and use Blowfin and their exchange and their technology to become successful. Got it, Jeb. Put my house on 150x. No, you definitely missed the point. No, I'm just kidding. I know you're playing. All right, we're going to wrap it out here in just a minute. Yeah. Oh, I do also want to mention, guys, that today's show is brought to you in part as well by NordVPN. Part of the reason sorry about that. Let's take that down. Part of the reason that I want you to sign up for NordVPN is because, well, first and foremost, they're going to let you go where no government has let you go before. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, for those of you who have concerns about a certain other sponsor. But anyway, you are also going to be able to be protected while you browse online. If you're one of those whales got $20,000 just to throw around and make $1,000 with, then you are probably a target with a red bullseye on your back for hackers. And if somebody hacks you and takes your $20,000, well, you know, that's going to be what we call sad. That'd be really sad. Like, that would probably evoke a few tears, and as it should. So please put the protection in place as necessary to make sure that you are safe. And one of the best ways you can do that is by signing up for NordVPN and letting it help protect you by shrouding your IP address while you browse online, especially if you're on public Wi-Fi. So make sure that you sign up for NordVPN and Blowfin with the links in the description box down below. Let's read a little bit of chat, and then we will wrap it out. Careful, guys. Careful out there, guys. The CPI week, it'll be volatile. That's right. Yes, please be careful of that. Guys, we are going to wrap it out here in just a minute, but I do want to let you know that even as we talk, Bitcoin is sitting at all-time high. We just established a new all-time high just a couple of minutes ago. We're kind of inching up here. It's not off to the races territory, but we are inching up here at $72,585. Pretty exciting stuff, guys. Pretty exciting stuff. Pretty exciting stuff. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Trust the Lord with all thine heart. All right. I'm going to read a little bit of chat, like I said, and then we're going to wrap it out. We were thinking about different types of pen. I don't remember what. This is, even came in this fancy case. Yavanka. I didn't know that's what it's called. It's called a Yavanka pen. Oop. I don't think it's Trump. Ivanka? That's Ivanka. This is the case it came in. Let's see if it'll auto track. I don't know if it will. Is it going to do it? Come on, camera. You can do it. There we go. That's the case it came in. Got the extra ink. See? Fits right. Got to do this backwards. This is hard. It fits right there. Cool pen. Not affiliated. Just like the pen. Get yourself a good pen, because if you want to be successful, you're going to be using it a lot. Writing written plans. That'll be what they call sad. That's a very nice pen. It is. It's very, like, it's beefy, like. Let's do some ASMR here. I can hear it, too. It's a good pen. Good man, good woman needs a good pen. All right, guys. I do appreciate all of you for tuning in. If you did enjoy today's stream, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for more content. We got an edited video coming out tomorrow, which is going to be a lot of fun. And make sure to sign up for Blowfin and get free money. Get access to a great exchange that's going to help you make money. I mean, that's what we're here for, is help you make money. Blowfin's going to help you with that. Make sure to sign up for NordVPN so you don't, like, lose the money. Because there's not much purpose in gaining wealth if it's going to be lost. So please be diligent to protect your wealth. NordVPN is going to help you with that. And subscribe to the channel, because it is my goal, my everlasting goal for the rest of my life, to help you guys gain as much wisdom as you possibly can around finances, investment, and even in this case, cryptocurrency, so that you can be more successful with your wealth, build wealth, get control of your wealth, and have the ability to have peace and stability, and ultimately, most importantly, to be radically generous with the people that need help. Because I tell you what, there's a lot of people out there that need help. You make, what is it, $38,000 a year, you're in the top 1%. There's a lot of people out there that need help. There's a lot of people in those second two categories where either their circumstances suck or they are just straight up oppressed. There are still slaves in this world, people. They walk among us. They are everywhere. There are still people that are enslaved, that are owned by other people. There are real causes out there. There are real hardship. There are really people that are in slavery or in some kind of oppressive bondage. There are real people out there that are under the yoke of slavery or racism or whatever. That is really a thing. You don't walk up to somebody who's being sex trafficked and say, just work harder. No. You get slapped if you say that by just about anybody, right? No, that's where you need to have your resources in order so that you have money to donate to the people that are doing the work. You know why? Because you might not know how to go help people that are in sex trafficking. But what you can do is you can be wise with your money, and you can make more money so that the people that do know how to go and do that work don't have to spend all day earning money to go and do the work. You can free up the financial obligation on their side to have to go and earn money to fund their work of getting people out of sex trafficking by helping fund them. So go be a fundraiser for the kingdom of God. That's what I'm trying to do. And I do pray that you'll join me on that journey, because there's a lot of hurting. There's a lot of suffering out there. And if we work together, we can start the greatest fundraising effort in the history of the church to help the foreigner and the oppressed and the widow and the orphan, as we are called to do. Let justice be served on those that are hurting others, have evil in their hearts, and let us pool our resources together and help those that need help. I promise you that'll bring you a whole lot more joy than having a nicer car. Not that anything is wrong with having a nicer car. You got $1 million, go spend $100,000. I don't care. Not putting down spending money on wants. But let's go help some people. We got to work hard to do it, though. If you enjoyed today's stream, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And before I go, I do just first want to thank each and every single last one of you for watching, as always. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Oh, I got a real good feeling.